Hello, today is Tuesday, May 4th, and today I did some back squats, some overhead press, and then some light accessories. For these back squats, I aimed for a top set of 3 at 415, which is the same weight as 2 weeks ago. And the reason for that is that last week on this specific day, on last week on Tuesday, that's when I had my COVID vaccine, and so I took it light and bumped down quite a bit for my top set. And so to try to bump up from what I had been hitting before that would probably not be the smartest thing in the world. So just aimed for the same weight. But what's different about this week compared to the last 3 weeks or so is that there is additional volume, specifically on the back down sets. So before it was 3 sets of 3 at minus 10%, and this week was 4 to 5 sets of 5 at minus 10%. And so this week I shot for 4 sets of 5 just to sort of ease myself into the higher volume. But yeah, this is my top set. Moved pretty well, I think, but I guess the second rep was not too bad, but I think this third rep, I sort of let my hips rise quite a bit out of the hole. Yeah, you can sort of see my knees track backwards, but it moved pretty well, which I was pretty happy with, honestly. And so moved on to these down sets. But one thing that I was thinking about, I watched this video before I came to this session of this weightlifter. I think he's from Cuba. His name is Idalberto Aranda, but this dude squats so fast. Like, the way he squats 280 or something like that, I think it was 280, is faster than I squat, like, with the bar. And so just watching him before my session today, I sort of came in with the mindset of just being more intentional about moving fast and just being strong. More than any sort of other technical cue. Obviously, I was still continuing to think about the idea of active hips from the last few weeks. But more than that, I was just like, let's, let's move well. Let's make sure we're moving well. But 2, let's just try to move these faster. That's all I was really thinking about. Like, move it as if it was an empty bar. And I think that does help a lot. It did help a lot. But yeah, that's about all I have to say, I guess, about these back squats. I was pretty gassed by the end of it. 4 sets of 5 is definitely not the easiest thing in the world. Hopefully next week I can hit 5 by 5 and bump up both the top set and the down set weight, but we'll see how things go next week. But that's about it, I think, for back squats in terms of my thoughts. So then after these back squats, we move on to the overhead press. And again, last week from the COVID vaccine, I skipped these overhead presses. And so same idea. I was just like, let's try to aim for the same thing that I hit last week, which is 165 for a top set of 5. Which was not very smart. I remember from 2 weeks ago saying, I remember it being hard, 165, and it being definitely a grind, but my thought process was, okay, I wore my hook grip belt today, which is way thinner than my Inzer belt. So if I put my Inzer belt on the next time I overhead press, then it should be easier. But that's what I did, but I sort of learned today with these overhead presses that 1, it just doesn't help me, and or 2, I'm just not using it correctly or taking advantage of it correctly, because I slapped on the belt, you can see, for 135, but it didn't really feel like it helped. But yeah, here's my last warm-up of 150 before 165. And you can see I only make, I make 1 rep pretty slow. Second rep was actually not that bad, but then here I just bail. And here, I'm like debating. I'm like, can I keep going? But then I remember, no, there's no way. And so I bumped down 10 pounds for the top set, and thankfully I make it. This wasn't particularly difficult. It's crazy just how much of a difference 5 or 10 pounds makes with overhead press. But 155 is not hard, honestly. But I definitely should have considered the fact that I took a week off of overhead press, and to try to aim for a weight from 2 weeks ago that was already really hard was a little unrealistic. And then you can see from this downset to the next, I take off my belt. But I find that not having the belt literally made no difference. If anything, the second set might have been easier and better than the first one. And so that's when I knew. I was like, okay, either I'm not using this belt correctly or it's just not helping me. Probably both. Definitely both, honestly. But I wasn't too phased. After my top set, I randomly just remembered this random clip of Alexei Tarakti that I watched, this interview he did with the guy from Weightlifting House, Seb. And he was saying that his best, or the most he's ever strict pressed was 90 kilos. And the dude's clean and jerked I don't know what his best clean and jerk is, like 500 pounds or more, I'm pretty sure. But I remember that, and I was like, you know what? I don't feel too bad now. But yeah, I mean, honestly, besides that, I guess incorrect decision in terms of what to load for the top set. Not bad of a day. Just got some solid work in. So yeah, that's about it.